quote, the only thing that hasn't been done to us is painting us with horns and a tail, Eukelson says. We don't even say, quote, landlord anymore because anything with a lord is bad. Landlord, drug lord. Those are the only two.
But you asked for that.
Yeah.
You're the ones who wanted that. We're still saying landlord. You're the ones that were like, listen, that's not. We actually prefer home providers, housing providers now. That was you guys. That was not fucking us. We would never. We hate your guts.
They can come up with a new thing and we'll call them that and hate them. That's fine with me.
Yeah, yeah, fine. Yeah, I'll still hate them though. Yeah, absolutely.
Make fun of them that whatever way you want, sir. Although yeah, anything with lord is bad. Landlord, drug lord. But he ends there. But does he mean like the Lord also? That's become a slur. Saying the Lord has become a slur now in our politically correct woke society. Yeah, if George Carlin was alive, it would be the 8th thing you can't say on television anymore. What's that? One of the number one shows was about Jesus. Oh shit. Eukelson says he has no research demonstrating increased violence against landlords, but tenants advocates say that the pandemic heightened conflict too. LA's Eviction Defense Network says that in 2020 complaints, blah, 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 blah. During the pandemic, 911 calls from tenants reporting their landlords had illegally locked them out of their units also spiked, and the calls were concentrated in Black and Latino neighborhoods. By the end of 2022, LA County landlords were again filing evictions at pre-pandemic rates. So yeah, the tensions are heightening between landlords and, did I say the tenants are heightening? No, the tensions are heightening between landlords and their tenants. And we don't really know why. Oh, yeah, it's because we raised rents and illegally locked out a bunch of people from their houses during a pandemic.
Weird. I don't know why they're reacting that way.
After the morning session concludes, property managers Nedra Bloodsaw and Lupe Leon reflect on life, quote, on the front lines as they fiddle with a pair of Generation 7 combat application tourniquets.
I'm sorry. I don't care how good the rent rate is. I'm never gonna rent anything from someone named Bloodsaw.
Well, she is learning how to apply a tourniquet now. That seems like it would come in handy.
Oh, that's good. So she would just like subdue me, but then not let me die.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm getting the artery, but then I'm gonna stop it, just to humble you.
She's gonna turn you into like Elijah Wood at the end of his arc in Sin City, and you tie you up to a tree and let a wolf eat your tourniqueted stumps.
They're kind of just playing themselves though, because if these tenants end up having hospital bills, they're never gonna get their rent paid.
Yeah. Just on life on the front lines of evicting people from their homes. Now, don't get me like. I understand if you're an apartment manager, you are dealing with a lot of people, and just statistically, some of those people are going to be assholes. I understand that's more like real work, but it's like you're doing work on behalf of a landlord, so maybe get your you're like a class traitor essentially, not to get dramatic about it, but you're on the opposing side, right? And so it's hard to really feel sorry for you having to deal with like a bunch of people's lives. Like everybody has problems in their lives, and you have to deal with all of them because you put yourself in the situation where you're in between them and a place to live.
I mean, if your job should only be to like fix the water heater, like don't do anything beyond that. Once you do anything beyond like fixing things, then you're a class traitor. So sorry, that's just part of the job. You took that job. Sorry about that.
It sucks because like as a UPS driver, I talk to a lot of property managers. Like I deliver to a lot of offices and stuff. And I hear stories from them where they're like, yeah, a homeless guy tried to get in here or whatever. And I'm just like, that sucks for everybody, like
yeah.
I'm not going to lecture them about private property or anything like that. But it's, I had one guy, tell me that like somebody rushed up on a tenant while they were coming through the door, and like he had it on video and he showed me the video, and the guy yelled at him or whatever and he like walked away. And And he was like, but he could have like had a knife and stabbed him to death, like just like that, just bah, 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 bah. And I was like, how likely is that to happen though, man? And he was like, well, no, not likely. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, my mind just goes to the worst thing. And I'm like, oh, okay.
You're all like, have you ever thought that maybe I could have a knife and I could just stab you like right now? I mean, think about it. That's what you're. Those are the odds you're running.
Yeah, I feel bad because I like this guy, but like that's he's the same guy that was having the conversation with that other guy where he was talking about all the cryptocurrency guys mysteriously dying.
Oh yeah.
And how Elon Musk was trying to save humanity and shit like that. That was a different guy, but anyway, like these property managers are not getting paid that much money, right? They're maybe it's a living wage, but they're not getting paid enough to like handle domestic disputes or fights or anything. Like they don't have the training for that. It's like one person, right? Maybe a team of people, but they're not all there at the same time usually.
Yeah.
So I this is just it's once again like property companies, real estate companies, like letting a wage earner, a worker, deal with all the problems, deal with the actual deteriorating situation where there are homeless people trying to get inside. There are mentally ill people on the street. Now they have to deal with it. And of course they're going to be like, oh shit, I should get some self-defense training classes if I'm going to have to get between someone and their apartment door or something like that.
I mean, sure. Like I said, I think everybody should have some sort of self-defense knowledge. But to do it solely because you're a landlord or property manager is like, that's what sucks. But you're right though. And it is that filter that the rich put between themselves and like the rest of the world and like actual, working class society. They put that filter there between them. And that's like, it's so easy to do. But the trick about that is that if you're a property manager, like you could never become someone that has a property manager. You're never going to get paid enough to do that. And that's kind of backwards in itself. So like, you should be mad too. You should be like, why am I being put at risk right now for nothing?
Yeah. Most property managers I meet, they don't look like thrilled about their job, which, to be fair, not many people are. So Bloodsaw says a tenant called her, quote, everything but a child of God when she tried to throw out the woman's boyfriend who was not on her lease. Quote, she cut my tires, Bloodsaw says. And it's like, yeah, you kicked her boyfriend out of her. What are you, her mom?
Yeah, what are you doing? I hate that shit because I think like they run that. They're like, okay, if you do something that's not on the lease, like, oh, sorry, you had some life-changing things happen in between. You met someone and fell in love and decided to move in with you. Like, you didn't talk to me about that. Me, your landlord. You should have talked to me about that before you started a relationship.
Quote, she cut my tires, Bloodsaw says. Quote, when we serve a notice, they start screaming, Lupe says. They're yelling, why are you evicting me? Oh, here she says it right here. Quote, the company is safe. They're far away, Bloodsaw says. We have to deliver the hate mail. Yeah, you signed up for it. It's even worse than a landlord because you're not making landlord money. Like,
no.
You have to be comfortable doing that for $15 an hour, maybe $20 an hour. No, thank you.
Sucks so bad. You think the company covered the cost of this class?
It was a free class, I think. Julian Cuevas, an on-site manager with Roxbury Properties, says violence is a part of the profession, quote, more so than ever. When members of this county's 70,000-strong homeless population break into the building he manages looking for shelter in vacant units, Cuevas and his wife are sent to remove them. Quote, we always say, sitting in the office, we're fucked, he says. Yeah, you're fucked in a couple ways, man. Why are you doing this shit? Get a real job. Get a different job, man.
Yeah. We're fucked, man. God, it's so... What an awful world we live in.
Yeah. Go work in a warehouse, man, for real.